Hey, High Rollers. How's it going? This is Jenn Bruno Smith here, and I have an amazing interview for you today with Chelsea Smith. Super excited to have you here with us today, Chelsea. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm great. How are you?
I'm so good. So you are the whole way up in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada.
All the way in Canada.
Our Canadian friends. It's beautiful up there. I'm complaining about being cold in Delaware. You're probably much colder there.
It is not. It's not very cold right now.
No.
No,
Well,
you might be even colder. I'm not
oh,
sure.
how about that? We just got a cold rush here. So you have been doing something so cool, and we're going to dig into it in a little bit. But so tell everyone really quickly where they can find your work. If they're just hopping onto the podcast or they're just finding us, where can they find your work so they can go check it out?
My website is vintagechicportrait.com. And that's CHIC for chic. And I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, but I don't post a ton on Instagram. I probably should. That's my New Year's goal, is to get busier on Instagram, but I am on there. So, and all the Paris photos are on Instagram. So that would be a good spot to check it out.
So Instagram would be a good place to go to check out and see
the
what
Paris
you're doing.
ones. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So you shoot boudoir. Would you consider it boudoir, like more glam, or
like what? Oh, more glam.
like more glam?
More glam. More glam. Yes. No, I do mainly boudoir, and then I try to glam up the boudoir with all the couture dresses and skirts and stuff, and make it kind of a mix of boudoir and glam together.
Do you do that in your studio as well, or only when you're on destination?
No, in my studio.
That's amazing.
My
So
studio is overflowing with tulle.
I love that. I love that. And before we went live, you were saying that you kind of started in the Sue era with so you were kind of following Sue Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see like the notes of that with all the tulle and the fashion and the glam.
Yes. So that kind of transferred into the boudoir aspect and made it a mix, which is basically a dream job. Get to dress up every day.
So what year did you start shooting, I guess? What year did you come into business?
2017, January 1st.
So you started with Sue, and then what year did you move over to the High Rollers and kind of change your business model a little bit?
I was trying to think back to when I did join, but it was about 3 years ago.
Okay. So you've been with us since 2019, maybe 2020, 2019?
Yeah, it was before COVID. So 2019.
2019. Okay. So, and business, how is business going, I guess, before you decided to start doing the destination stuff, and you're still shooting in your studio. So how's business in general, I guess?
It's been amazing. Yeah, it's been busy. It's been great ever since joining this mastermind course. And no, she didn't tell me to say that. That's my own thing. It had definitely, business has jumped and has gone crazy since joining. And to be honest, I haven't even done 3/4 of the course yet.
That's awesome.
I think I'm at 21% done. And just from that 21%, it's been crazy.
That's wonderful. We hear that a lot. I don't think anybody has ever finished everything. No one is at 100%.
No, okay.
I don't think there's anybody. Also, we keep adding and changing too. So you could be at 70 and then it's going to go down to 50. And
perfect.
So how many do you shoot a year? How many did you shoot last year?
I just about hit 50. I think I was at 49, but not including the Paris shoot. So it would have been over 50.
That's great. And do you do IPS?
I do.
And then, so what's your sales average with IPS?
My sales average is between 3,000 to 5,000. It was 5,000 last year. It kind of dropped a bit because I changed my packaging, and now it is going back up to 5 because I changed it back. So I like to sit at 5,000.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so now that we have a foundation for your business and kind of where you are, so people have a general idea, let's dig into this Paris trip that you did, because if you guys have not already gone to her Instagram to go look at these Paris pictures while we're talking, can you say your Instagram handle one more time so everyone can like go over there?
I can. It is at Vintage Chic Portrait.
Okay. So I want you to go over and I want you to go look at her Paris pictures because they're literally like fairy tale boudoir and I love it. So what inspired you? Like, cause this is a big, okay. So what do they say? Like when you're about to eat an elephant, you take one bite at a time or something like that, right? This is like a big
This is
thing.
huge.
Yeah. Like this is like a big thing to be like, I'm going to take a group of women to Paris and I'm going to do it really well. Like that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of organization. So what inspired you to do this? And then also, like, I guess, what were your concerns starting it? Because I would have like my OCD would be going crazy with all the things.
Yeah, luckily I don't have that. And I don't have that buffer where, oh, that's maybe not a good idea. I'm missing that thing. So I just go for things. And when sometimes they fail, then it's like, okay, don't do that again.
I love that.
But for this one, I've always wanted to go to Europe and I've traveled lots to many different places, but I saved Europe for a man. So I waited for Europe for like honeymoon or when I met somebody that I was going to travel with. I saved the entire stupid continent to go with a man. Like who does it? It was ridiculous. So finally I was like divorced. I had a man, got rid of him, never went to Europe still with him. So it was time to get to Europe, and Paris specifically was where I dreamt to go my whole life. And so I was thinking about going with a friend, and then I thought, well, how amazing would it be to bring all these dresses and do like beautiful photo shoots in Paris as well. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll go with a friend first since I've never been, and go and do some promo for it and then come back and maybe put a trip together. And I'm a member of the eWomen Network. I don't know if you know about that, with Sandra Yancey. And we were at this summit thing and she just had said, why do the first trip? Just plan the trip and go with the clients right off the bat. Like don't waste time.
Yeah.
And so just the more I thought about it, I thought that sounds way more fun to go with actual clients and friends versus just going by myself or just with one friend. So that put it in motion and it was planned. I announced the trip in 2019 and then it was booked and sold out for 2020 and then COVID shut it all down and the whole thing got canceled.
Oh no.
Yeah, everything got canceled.
COVID just messing with everybody's plans all the time.
Flights, everything was booked and yeah, so that all got canceled. So really, for those of us that were the original people for the Paris trip, when it came, it was 3 years in the making. So it was really, really fun because we had waited so long.
You're waiting. Okay. So how many people were on the initial Paris trip? And then how many people ended up going like whenever,
when it finally got to happen this October. So originally there was 6 spots for 6 clients. And then I brought my hair and makeup team. So there was 9 of us. And then when it got canceled, 3 of those women had to back out just from timing and dates and stuff. And so because we had to wait so long, the ones that were still in the group, we decided to extend it and make it an extra night, which means we could bring an extra person. So I ended up having 7 spots for clients and filled the 4 new spots with new people.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so there's ended up being 7 clients and then 4 of us because my makeup artist brought her 18-year-old daughter. So we were a team of 11. And it went.
Okay. So how many days and nights was this Paris trip?
For the clients, it ended up being 6 nights, 7 days.
And then for you guys, for the team?
We went 2 weeks total. We went early and then we stayed after.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So the clients were there 6 days, 7 nights. Did you get a big house? How did you deal with like the accommodation side of it?
That was the only part, I will be honest, that was like, it's a little bit
a lot
whacking because I booked it on Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I had seen a bunch of posts about people saying that they had booked this beautiful place, but they showed up and it wasn't the place and it was small. And I had found this beautiful 7-bedroom apartment that was just over the top luxurious, gorgeous, like the most amazing apartment. And I booked it. And I booked it during COVID, and I crossed my fingers because people were canceling. There was a lot of Airbnbs canceling and reselling. And I was just, because it would be hard to find a place for 7 people. So I had booked the clients their own suite, and then we were in a different area in our own.
Wow. Okay. So did that same apartment end up staying available then when you
Didn't cancel? So it wasn't the same apartment that we booked pre-COVID. It was a different one. That one, they had to sell it. It was gone.
Wow. Okay. So you found a new place then.
A new one.
So did you guys stay at the same place the entire 2 weeks, or did you book? Okay. So you guys,
the 4 of us stayed at a different Airbnb for the full 2 weeks. And then the clients arrived at a different Airbnb for the 7 or the 6 days.
so there wasn't a time where you were staying with the client in the same place?
No.
That's nice.
It was nice. It was perfect because it was it is a dream trip, and it was the most amazing fun trip, but it was also work. Like you're on and you have to just be on with the clients. And so it was nice to get to finish, and then we would leave to our own apartment for some downtime.
So during those 6 days, were you shooting every day?
No,
The clients were there.
No. So it was more than just a photo shoot trip. I had, it was a fully inclusive trip for them. So we had 3 different big excursions and different things planned. And then I had a private dinner. A chef came to their apartment and cooked us all this big fancy 6-course dinner. And then we did a dinner tour one night. So everything was included and everything was pre-planned. They just had to show up. And
That's amazing.
2 shoots every second day. So we did 2 at a time. And the 7th spot that I had opened up wasn't for a shoot. There was only time for 6 photo shoots.
So every second day you did 2 shoots.
Yeah.
So like morning and afternoon?
No, 2 at a time, which I don't actually recommend. I am changing that for my next one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little rushed feeling.
Right.
Like one is just standing around and then you switch them out. It wasn't, but because we didn't have the time, because we had so much other stuff planned, so it worked. It was fine, but our Italy one coming up is going to be different.
That's amazing. Okay. So all of these excursions and the meals, did you have a travel agent help you plan these things? No. You did it yourself. That's so impressive.
It was so much fun. Yeah.
That's so impressive. I can't believe that you did all of that by yourself, because like I get overwhelmed planning dinner here in Delaware for my family, let alone planning for 6 adults or 11 adults. It's amazing. So, okay. So how did you price it? How did you know like how to price it all?
I went, like the photo shoot part was obviously a lot cheaper than what I charge in my studio.
Right.
But because it was all being a package price, I didn't want to sell a $20,000 package. That's seems a bit crazy. So I priced it for what would cover all the expenses,
right?
Cover my expenses and my team. For that one, they did pay for some of theirs, the hair and makeup team. They paid for part of their trip, but then I covered quite a bit for them for coming and paid them to be there as well.
Yeah.
So I just priced it to make sure all of that was covered and any extras would be covered. And then in the end, there ended up being an $8,000 profit in the end.
Not bad considering you were in Paris for 2 weeks.
Exactly. Fully paid for. So
all of that tool, how did you get that to Paris? Let's get to the important stuff.
So I had 5 suitcases. Because each client had 3 outfit changes. So we had whatever that is, 3 times 6. I bought vacuum seal bags from Amazon.
Smart.
I vacuum sealed them. Smart, but I'm not sure if it is smart because when you vacuum seal, they're rock hard. So they don't smush, and tool smushes. So I don't know. I tried coming for the way home. I tried not vacuum sealing and just squishing them in the suitcases, and both was a disaster. I paid a lot for extra luggage, a lot.
So, this is probably a silly question, but does the tool, I'm not even going to say, does the tool weigh more when it's vacuum sealed?
I think it does. It's not a silly question. It was rock hard and heavy. So I do think it does end up, like, honestly, I didn't know which one was better, not vacuum sealing or vacuum sealing, but.
Did it all fit in the same suitcases when it wasn't vacuum sealed?
It did. I had to
I'm just
buy.
intrigued by this, like how you move that much tool from one continent to another.
I know. I had to buy 2 suitcases to bring home, but that was because we did a lot of shopping too. So it wasn't from the tool. I think it would have all fit the same.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, okay. So then did you include anything? Did you upsell the clients like through IPS or anything after?
So they haven't seen their photos yet. We haven't even done their reveal yet. So if you are going to plan a trip like this, definitely plan a lot of time to do the photos after, because we got back at the end of October and then I had my busiest month in the studio in November.
Right.
The most shoots I've ever had.
Right.
And then the holidays. So they still haven't seen their photos. We still haven't done it. I don't plan to upsell them just because they had to wait so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to for this, but I would have normally.
Right.
So a full IPS, but they're in their package. It includes a photo package with a framed print and a folio box with matted prints and then the digital. So they have it is already included.
So when you do this next one, your next one is in Italy.
It's in Italy in October.
That's so fun. So where are you going in Italy?
I probably can't say it properly, but Monteparo.
Monteparo. Where is that at? Is that in the Amalfi Coast? Is that down south?
Down. Yeah, it is an authentic little town of Italy. So it's about 2 to 5 hours away from all the big touristy spots. It's right in the middle.
I'm Googling it right now so I can see.
Le Marche is the region, I think. So it's LE and then MARCHE.
Is it Monteparo?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
And so I've rented a whole private resort for this one. So this one's going to be really fun.
Stop it.
All inclusive this time. So all the meals are included and all the wine, lunch and dinner.
Wow.
Is included for 8 days. So this is going to be exciting.
That's amazing. How many spots are you opening up for this?
This one has 16 spots.
Wow.
But I'm only doing 4 photo shoots.
So there's more people that are coming and then not as many shooting.
Yeah.
So will you make your profit on the actual, like them coming on the experience?
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. And so that one is more of an eating trip. All the excursions are like pasta and pizza making and lots of fun, just eating food and relaxing.
I love Italy so much.
So I'm very excited.
Amazing. I don't know. I can't picture. I don't know where that is, but we were in Pompeii in the summer and it was like literally the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. It was amazing.
Is that touristy spot?
It depends. Oh, it is, but it depends on when you go. Like we went in the morning, so it actually wasn't that busy. And it was literally like we were walking by ourselves 1,000 years ago through the streets. It was amazing. It was incredible. So
I love that, walking by ourselves 1,000 years ago. That's like what this one is supposed to feel like. Very old, authentic, not touristy. Like Paris was obviously, we hit all the touristy things. We did all the fun stuff. And this one will be lay by the pool in the countryside. It just be different.
that's amazing. So like in the United States, right? Like historical buildings are like 300 years old or like 200 years old. But
Yeah.
in Europe, that's like, it's like 1,000. Like you find things that are so old. It's amazing. It's so cool. So
The buildings in Paris were amazing.
amazing. That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So when you go for this trip, so are you going to bring are people going to have the option to change their mind and shoot whenever you're there?
No.
No.
Because it needs to be pre-planned, because their outfits and everything needs to be pre-planned, so that I bring just what I need to bring for that one.
Right.
And because I didn't want to do 2 at a time again, that didn't work. Might work for some people. I know some people do 2 shoots a day or whatever they do, but I only ever do 1 shoot a day. So having 2 at the same time,
That's
just
a lot.
wasn't my favorite. I didn't feel like the clients had enough of my time, because you're kind of like, I don't know. And we had 3 locations each time. It was a rush. It was a go trip. So no, 4, and then it'll be at different times of the day for those ones.
That's great.
Yeah.
So do you think your profit margin from this one will be better than the last one?
It's currently not sold out yet, but if it does sell out at the price that I had it set for, now that it's January and you start to panic in January when things are dead and slow, I'm like, oh, maybe I should drop the price and sell it faster, but it is still a good ways away. And so if I did sell it for what I had priced it for and have promoted it for, the profit should be around 40,000.
That's amazing.
So
that's amazing. And you're only shooting 4 sessions. So
exactly.
the rest of it, you can just kind of enjoy and be a part of the excursion.
Yeah. And if I don't sell it out or I have to lower the price, even a less profit is still amazing, as long as me and my team are paid for, because this trip I am paying for their whole trip, my hair and makeup team. And so as long as the 3 of us are paid for out of it in the end, I'm happy.
So that's amazing. And I love that. Okay, so I have another question. So after all this is done, are you going to like start a travel agency? Because it sounds like that could be a side hustle or another venture for you. Like
could be. This is something that is going to happen all the time. I was going to do a big trip every year, but I also do a local staycation through my business for people who can't afford the big one. And so we did it last year, was our first annual one. This March is our second annual one. And so now I have realized that I need to do them on opposite years.
That makes sense.
So every year is a little too much. Promoting. I'm trying to sell too many big ticket things.
Right.
So it'll take another year. So we'll do the staycation on 1 year and then the international trip on the other years.
That's amazing. What is this staycation that you're saying? Like, what is it?
It's so fun. Last year, so I rent just rooms at a beautiful hotel that's just a little bit, it's about half an hour out of town, and it's on the water, and it's this gorgeous old, it's called the Souk Prestige Hotel.
Yeah.
If you want to look it up, it's beautiful. And I rent a banquet hall in there, and then we did a big limo ride on the Friday night to welcome everyone, and then we did these beautiful charcuterie picnics on the beach with everyone, so everyone could get to know each other, because everyone comes not knowing each other, so it's kind of like come and meet new friends.
That's great.
Same as the Paris trip. And then I had speakers and different workshops for everybody, and then the meals are all included, and then we had a dance party, and yeah, it was super fun.
This is amazing. How many days is the staycation?
It is Friday to Sunday. So 2 days.
And do you shoot during that?
I don't. Nope. No shoots.
That's amazing. So how is the profit margin with the staycation?
That one I feel like this is one that has to take some time to build up. So that one I broke even last year. Mm-hmm. And because I did a big swag bag that was worth about $800. I put a $500 gift certificate to my studio in it for a shoot. I bought some gift certificates from some of my friends with businesses, and they got to shop at their stores.
That's great.
So last year was 8 people that came. This year I had 16 spots. So if they sell out, then it will be better. But something that people need to take time to hear about and see pictures and see videos, and then the next year they want in on it. So
right. That's amazing. These are some really like super innovative ideas that are a lot of work, and probably not everyone could pull this off. Like, I don't know if I could pull off a Paris trip with my clients. I love my clients so much, but like that organization, it's a lot.
It was a lot of work, but it was fun. It was fun.
It sounds amazing. I want to go on the trip. I don't want to organize it.
And that's what everyone said. It was so nice that they could just show up and not have to think of anything to do or plan.
That's amazing. So, this has been so interesting. Thank you so much for sharing this with us today. This is so cool. Could you tell everyone how to find you again in case they would like to see these amazing Paris pictures?
Yeah, so the Paris pictures aren't even of the clients yet from their shoots. It's just all of us having so much fun in all our things that we did. So those pictures are amazing. And that's on Instagram at Vintage Chic Portrait, or my website is vintagechicportrait.com, or on Facebook.
That's perfect.
Vintage Chic Portrait.
Perfect. And if you guys have any questions, you can always find Chelsea on Facebook, in the Facebook group, or you can email us thrcpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining us, Chelsea. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, you can always come into the High Rollers Club on Facebook and ask us questions there as well. We stream these podcasts live into the Facebook group so people can ask questions real time. So until the next time, thank you so much for joining us. Dream big and hustle harder, High Rollers.